Hey, what's up, everybody? It's One Mic Night, the podcast that brings you stories of artists and people on their journey, helping to guide, answer questions, and motivate you in life and the business. Today, we are doing something special. We're diving deep into fashion and culture that shapes the world. You know who I am? I'm Marcos Luis, and today we're going to break down one of the most talked about nights in fashion history. And that's the 2025 Met Gala. Now, you guys know it already happened. It happened a few weeks ago, but today we're going to break it down for you and tell you exactly how significant this last 2025 groundbreaking night was. This year's theme was Superfine, Tailoring Black Style. It was a powerful celebration of Black Dandyism, the movement that transformed fashion into a statement of power, resilience, and identity. Let's get into it. We're talking about the history behind the theme, the jaw-dropping looks, and the big names who bankrolled that night, including the luxury brands, the social media moguls, and the billionaires who made this historic event possible. But beyond that glamour, we're going to dive into why this year's financial success matters to the arts, the power of Black spending, the impact of Black creatives in entertainment, and buckle up because we're about to get into it. So sit tight. First, let's talk about the history of the Met Gala and its exhibits and its fundraising. Now, the Met Gala isn't just a party. It's a fundraiser that fuels the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute, which preserving the fashion history of generations. So the Met Gala began around 1948 through 1970. The Met Gala was founded in 1948 by a publicist named Eleanor Lambert as a way to raise money for the Costume Institute. Now, the very first gala was a midnight dinner at the Waldorf Astoria, and the tickets cost $50 each. Not too bad right about now. In 1970s, Diane Vreeland, the former Vogue editor, transformed the gala into a themed event, making it more glamorous and, of course, culturally relevant. The exhibits of 1980 through the 2000s, the themes became more elaborate, with exhibits celebrating fashion icons, historical movements, and cultural shifts. Now, let's get into some of these themes because they are very memorable. Because in 1983, Yves Saint Laurent, you know that house, it was honoring that legendary designer. 1995 was haute couture, and it was a deep dive into the world of high fashion. In 2018, the theme was Heavenly Bodies, exploring the intersection of fashion and Catholicism. In 2019, Camp, Notes on Fashion. That was a tribute to exaggeration and theatricality in style. I remember that. The Met Gala is also a fundraising powerhouse. Now, the gala has evolved into one of fashion's biggest fundraisers and is generating millions and millions of dollars for the Costume Institute. In 2025, the Met Gala raised a record-breaking $31 million, surpassing all the previous years. Let's talk about some of the supports that fund this exhibit. So exhibitions like Superfine, Tailoring Black Style, which was the theme for this year, it explores 250 years of Black history fashion. It's also important for the conservation, for preserving the historical garments and the textiles. The third point of it is the education of the history of costumes, funding lectures, workshops, and the research that go along with the Met Gala. Now let's get down to what everybody really likes about the Met Gala and the part that most of us know about. And you know what that is. That's the red carpet. Tailored to perfection this year. The theme, once again, was Dandyism, and it celebrated African American culture, specifically men. Now, we can't talk about it unless you talk about some of the legends who always hit the carpet, such as Pharrell, A$AP Rocky, Colman Domingo, and Janelle Monáe. And you know what? This year, of course, they delivered. First of all, Zendaya stunned with a custom white Louis Vuitton, of course, creative director Pharrell Williams, styled by none other than you know who, in a three-piece suit inspired by Bianca Jagger's iconic bridal look. Rihanna made headlines, of course, in her lovely Marc Jacobs menswear-inspired ensemble, and it was featuring a gray suit with sort of a black bolero and an oversized hat with a striped suit, jacket, and bustle. Rihanna also hit us up with the news and the premiere of Baby Number 3. But, of course, in my opinion, and you guys write down in the comments what you think, the boss, the boss delivered overall, Miss Diana Ross. Stunning. She shut down the red carpet in an 18-foot train embroidered with her children's names. And it was paired with, of course, a silver gown and a feathered hat. Who's the money behind the gala, you ask? Who funded fashion's biggest night? Well, let's talk about it. All right, let's first talk about the numbers. As I mentioned before, this Met Gala raised a record $31 million. Who was involved? Luxury houses like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and of course, Chanel bankrolled this event. Other sponsors include people like TikTok and Instagram that boosted the gala's reach with young and old, with exclusive content and digital partnerships. Individual seats to this event, a whopping $75,000, while a table started at $350,000. Is that too much, do you think? Let me know once again down in the comments what you guys think. Why was this Met Gala historic? Well, we've seen changing Met Galas before, but the 2025 was way different. It wasn't just about these beautiful, glamorous outfits, the red carpets, the celebrity. It was about shaping fashion history. The record-breaking 31 million surpassed previous years. It was a cultural funds that support Black archives, exhibitions, and educational programs that made this incredible. Now, in comparison to the other events, the Met Gala outperformed major art fundraisers like the incredible Whitney Museum here in New York, which raised $5.2 million, and the New York Philharmonic, which raised $4 million. Not only that, but it showcases and empowers Black spending. Black consumers drove global funds from fashion to entertainment, not only through the fundraising, but through celebrity. As we approach mid 2025 and we see what's happening in our own economy here in the United States, but also globally, you have to realize that Black spending is projected to reach $1.98 trillion, which influences industries worldwide. Streaming fashion and beauty industries rely heavily on Black consumers shaping the market strategies and product development. The Harlem Renaissance of 1920s and 30s set the foundation for artistic excellence. Being here in New York, we see that it's still the fashion haven. The Black arts dominates music, it dominates film, and it dominates fashion, influencing global culture. And we already know that Black culture has become the pop culture of the world. The Met Gala 2025 was the first exhibit dedicated to Black designers, proving that Black creativity deserves institutional recognition. Let me know down in the comments or inbox me, what was your favorite look for the Met Gala this year? Who's your favorite celebrity or person that showed up? How did they look? And what did it mean to you? And as I said, it was iconic, especially for Black men, because Black men were celebrated for their style this year. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. That's it. That's a wrap for today. Diving deep into the Met Gala 2025, its significance, and who helped funded this, and what it means for Black culture. This is One Mic Night. I'm Marcos Luis. Follow me on all social media at Marcos Luis, MarcosLuis, and follow the show at One Mic Night, ONEMICNITE. Let me know what you think about this type of episode. If you want to see more about more episodes like this, let me know. Also, make sure you follow us, and if you can, leave a review. And I also want to thank you guys for making One Mic Night podcast a top 40 podcast in the year of 2024. Let's see if we can get it back for 2025. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Until next time, keep your eye on music and stay stylish. This is One Mic Night. I'm out.